basically is about connecting with the positive experiences, positive facts that we have in our life and around us. Usually we have negativity bias, and our mind is tuned more to negative experiences. We remember them more, we ruminate about them more. We feel more attracted to negative experiences. We like to think about them. It sounds like negative, and we use the word negative to describe that kind of experience. But strange enough, that's what we spend most of our time entertaining. We do something in order to negate and to neutralize negative experiences. And over time, we become predisposed to those negative experiences. We become very good at noticing them, at sensing them, at protecting them, at imagining them. But the more we do that, the more we become very good at them. The more we worry, the more we become at worrying. And these days, clinical psychology and neurology have proven this in their research. So in the afternoon I'll be expanding on this, but this morning, as a way of introducing to the subject, to stabilize our emotion and therefore also stabilizing our thought, we really need mudita. There's no point going for something good and then take it for granted and ignore that, only to go for another one and repeat the same behavior, to ignore that, to downplay its effect, then feel empty all over again. And we have to make another effort to go for that kind of thing again. So again and again, this is a vicious circle. By doing that, we are unnecessarily using our energy, repeating something that we can't. In 1999, when I was doing a 6 days meditation in Ottawa in Canada, one of the teachers who was in the retreat, she told me that her daughter's favorite bird is a very common bird in Canada, and her daughter's favorite flower is also very easy to find. It's not exotic flower. Her daughter was 9 at the time. I said, okay, your daughter is going to be very healthy emotionally. Because being an average and also feeling happy with something very common means you have plenty of supply for your happiness. 7 years later, in Jakarta, one of the ladies, I visited a family. They have one son and one daughter. The son is happy only with, his pet must be something from Amazon in Brazil. So he has a turtle from Brazil, and something more, also from practice. Okay, you live in Jakarta. You live in Jakarta, but okay, you will only be happy if you get hold of something from the Amazon. You know, you are really making your life very difficult. So, in the world now, in this society, being average is considered to be an insult. If people describe it, you know, you're an average. This is kind of an insult. Meaning, we have lost the ability to enjoy something very common. We want to be unique, we want to be special. Our being special depends on the recognition of other people. So if other people don't recognize you, if they don't give you an approval that you think you deserve, now if they only give half of it, maybe just a quarter, you know, you are doomed to feel very bad, very hurt towards your surrounding, because you think you have done enough to get a special recognition. Now you only get a recognition, not a special one. That kind of thing. Mudita meditation will make sure that kind of attention seeking, that kind of inner empty, you know, feeling or seeking, you know, to seeking special attention, that kind of thing. Okay, will be addressed. Of course, we all need attention because we are part of the community. We cannot live alone. Very simple, full stop. But if our attention-seeking level is average, then we can see our emotion is happy. But it is more than that. It is more than that if you want to be unique. You want to be unique. And in the way you dress, in the way you go about everything. You are sowing the seed of suffering. The seed of suffering. And Mudita will take care of this. When we need special attention, when we need special approval for our success, for our existence, for our effort, we actually have little time for other people. We just spend more time on outside, you know. Naturally, that's self-centered. When we say self-centered means, you know, I have less connection with all of you. Your positive qualities, your kindness, you know, I may just take it for granted. Maybe I may just ignore it. I just don't have the ability to connect with your good qualities. But when you do something irritating, I will register that very strong. So, when we talk about development outside, we need to talk about development inside in order to sustain the development outside. Otherwise, nothing is ever good enough for us. If you imagine about 60, 70 years ago when people didn't have central heating here, for example, when you didn't have motorway, and now it's very easy. for people from London, from somewhere else to come here for this quiet contemplation, this kind of thing. Or you have another choice to go to Harvard, another choice in Wales to Satipanya Center, where English monk called Mudita run the center, and there are other Tibetan centers. I was surprised last year when we started this place. When I visited a pharmacy in Chester, I saw a leaflet. There are 2 mindfulness classes around this area in the Forest of Dean. Okay, may not be on a weekly basis, but it seems fairly common. This is the importance of Mudita practice that I want to share with you this morning. I'd like to turn your attention, to bring your attention to the practice. The way to practice, roughly, we have these 2 stages. The first one is mindful experience. Mindful is meant to be mindful of any experience that we have. It can be negative, it can be positive experience, it can be irritating experience, it can be very neutral, like breathing. It's okay just to be mindful, just to be present, just to be present. Train the mind to be present. When you're at the present moment, there is less chance of a negative, one particular negative experience. There is less likely of that negative experience hijacking your emotion, hijacking your thought. So, mindful experience are very important. When we focus on breathing in and out, we are placing mindfulness on the experience of breathing. We breathe since we were born. But we don't usually place awareness, in this experience. We don't have a good connection with our breathing. Intimate relationship with our breathing. We don't quite appreciate that. We know that can be, how vital this breath is when we have to use oxygen when we need to be given oxygen, when we need that kind of support, kind of life-sustaining support, that we appreciate it. Otherwise, now we can breathe freely, we can breathe fully. It's so average, the breath is just so abandoned. It doesn't feel any special about that, so we're not very interested. Let's see. We're not very interested. But if we label your breathing as jhana, as an achievement, as this, as that, now you become interested in your breathing because you feel special. Let's see. You feel special. So, breathing in and out. You can focus on the breath, you can focus at the on the nostril, you can focus at the beginning of the in-breath, or you can follow the breath in and out. It doesn't matter which way you focus. You just try, and which one will suit you, you discover. You can also focus on the tummy movement that many people do. You can focus on counting the breath as well. That's okay. The purpose is the same. To experience the moment mindfully. To experience the moment mindfully. Later you will transfer this skill to everything, to your eating. You're going to enjoy the food with every bite, not just every bite, I would say every chew, every time you chew. That would, only then we will be able to say that this is value for money. Otherwise we can't really say value for money. Okay? We get very little satisfaction out of the whole plate of food, because the mind just gets distracted very soon. And sometimes we don't even give respect to the food in our plate. With a lot of food in our plate, we start thinking about the food which is not here. So we are not really giving respect to the food in front of us. So being present or having awareness on the current experience is very important. The first thing you will experience is, of course, pain, physical discomfort. Pain, physical discomfort. Pain is nothing new to us. We experience this, very clearly since we were born. But we don't have a good relationship with pain in our lives. No good working relationship. Every time there's pain, we look at that very negatively. We don't like it. We don't like it. When we don't like it, we are activating the amygdala, the old brain. We go into fight and flight mode. So if this is our relationship to the pain, which is the very part of our life, we are not building a good foundation for happiness. Because certainly we don't like part of ourselves. We are not comfortable with it. So it's important to observe pain, to expect pain, to observe pain, and to do so, look at the red writing, the red color writing, non-judgmental awareness, without judging good or bad. Usually people would say, if it is a sitting session where they experience pain, they would say, this is not a good session. Where there's no pain, this is a good session. They would use pain as a standard to judge that mind training. Actually, that's not true. The presence and absence of pain only contributes to feel-good factor. A feel-good factor. If there's no pain, you feel good, because the training is so easy, so smooth. But when the training is a little bit bumpy, it's a little bit difficult. Not much feel-good factor. Now you start thinking negative things, shortcoming. about your own effort. You see, the way the mind turns to negativity. That is why, before you go into the sitting session, tell yourself that this physical body has pain. Actually, it needs pain. It needs pain. How do you know that you need water, you need to drink water? The pain that informs you. How do you know that you have taken so much water, now you need to stop? It's the physical discomfort that tells you. How do you know you need to eat now? It's the pain that tells you to eat and also to stop eating. How do you know you don't get enough sleep? Your headache tells you. Your drowsiness tells you. Okay. So, physical discomfort is actually necessary. This physical body needs in order for the mind and the body to communicate. Otherwise, the mind wouldn't be able to communicate with the body, and the body with the mind. That is why, in the list of what we call the five aggregates, the five khandhas, in Burmese khandha ngapa, in Thai khandha, you will see physical discomfort as number one, listed as number one. The first one being physical body. The third, the fourth, and the fifth, pure mental experiences. The pain being number two is the bridge between the body and the mind. So, we need to learn how to appreciate its role. Otherwise, every time you're happy, you look at it as an enemy. So if you create an inner enemy, you are on a threat focus all the time. The threat focus is the psychologist's description of the amygdala, the fight and flight experience. In the Buddhist definition, we call this destructive emotion, dosa. It's a rejection. It's a rejection. Rejection is expressed in terms of anger, in terms of frustration, in terms of dislike, in terms of fear. It's like that. So for the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, try to work on the pain. Trying to observe any experience non-judgmentally. Your mind will wander. Okay. Automatic thoughts will just come in. Expect this. And when they come in, don't look at them as hindrance. Instead, look at them as a natural experience. The way we react to our automatic thought is that sometimes we like the contents of our thoughts, so we get carried away. So there's like. Sometimes we don't like the content in our thoughts, the content of our thoughts. So we become aversive. We develop aversion towards our own thought. So only two, like and dislike. Very predictable reaction. So if we pay attention to those reactions, like and dislike of wandering mind, like and dislike of physical pain, then we soon develop non-judgmental awareness. Breathing in and out breathing is like the center of the focus, it's the home. But wherever we go, we keep returning home. In the same way, if the mind goes to the pain, if it goes to wandering mind, you recognize them, you register them, then you return to the breath, register, release and return. Register means recognizing, to recognize pain, to recognize reaction to the pain, to recognize emotional reaction to the pain, to recognize dislike. Okay, this is dislike, this is dislike, this is dislike. You don't really need to get rid of that dislike. Just be present with and experience that mindfully. Because we need to know about it. Buddhism approaches and solves any problem through understanding. We just need to develop understanding of dislike, okay, how it happens. And here we may not know how dislike happens straight away. But if we recognize that, okay, this is dislike towards pain, this is dislike towards wandering mind, this is dislike towards sleepiness. If we recognize that, recognize it a few times, and then release that object, let go of that object. We need to train the mind to release that. Otherwise, the mind is going to cling to that object, cling to that experience. So release that, then return to breathing. So that's non-judgmental awareness. We will be doing this about 20-25 minutes, about half of the time. Then you judge yourself. If you feel ready, you do mudita, you develop joy. Mudita. The practice of mudita, it can be very easy, it can be very difficult. Because mudita, as a positive emotional quality, you either have it or don't have it. There is nothing in between. It's about appreciating good things in our life, good things in our age, good things in the people we come across in our life. So that's to surround ourselves, okay, with consciousness of positive things, positivity. For someone, okay, still at the university, we know that in order to be at the university, we have had to work hard at least for 12 years. So if you revisit all those efforts and rejoice in our own effort, rejoice in the effort of your teachers in the school, your friends, the people, the government who built the school, who provide the facilities. There is so much to to rejoicing. The same thing at the university, year after year, you can look at how you put your effort into your work and how other people make it possible. Starting from your parents, other people, including the university, the government of each country, then we feel okay. We feel so loved, so careful if we do that. In order for you to come from London to here, okay, to Welsh border, Forest of Dean, 1 mile of motorway. 25 years ago, it cost about 1 million. 25 years ago, I don't know how much it would cost today. Even a billionaire wouldn't build that on his for himself. He would buy the most expensive car, but he wouldn't build a road for himself. Other people make it possible so that he can drive his most expensive car. Okay. The train is the same, the plane is the same, even your scooter is all the same. Okay? So that you can invest as little as possible and still function very efficiently. So all around, even in this room, okay, a lot to rejoicing. A lot to rejoicing. Every piece of materials has a long history. It involves many hands, many good hearts. Look at the microphone that I'm holding. It took years of research to invent this. If not billion, okay, this is millions, hundreds of, maybe a few hundred millions. To build a factory, to produce enough, so the business is sustainable. So without this, I can't really speak to you now. I don't know who invented this one, how many people are involved, but certainly not one person. One thing that it involves many people. So that is affordable, is sustainable as a business model. So in practice, mudita, to develop joy means joy is something that we need to actively, okay, pursue like we pursue education, a job, okay, like any other success. We need to pursue it. And the way to pursue it is to do that here in your mind, in your brain. But in your mind, here, if you orientate your mind towards rejoicing, that will change your brain, and we'll be talking about this in the afternoon at 1:30. One very important rule for mudita or development of joy is that you have to reach out to other people. Reach out to other people's goodness, positive points. If you can think about one or two good things in the people you don't like, in the people who don't like you feel less threatened. Otherwise, the amygdala, the protection mechanism in the brain is going to multiply this threat. And we feel so frightened with that. So necessarily, after you have spent some time for yourself, thinking about various things, one after another, revisiting your past, rejoicing your effort, congratulating yourself, feeling proud of yourself. Now it's time to extend that to other people, starting from the people close to you, closer to you. The people who have very good relationship with. Think about that good thing, their hard work, their positive quality. Think about that and develop mudita. Mudita. This weekend, if you go home with the word mudita, that would be worthwhile. But if you can sit and do mudita for the whole 45 minutes, each session will be 45 minutes. The whole 45 minutes. That means you have the ability to be happy. It's really, really challenging for people just to sit and think about nice things and be happy. It's very difficult. After all, since I've been doing this, practicing this, talking about this, sharing this with many other people, I have come to see that people are not really very consistent. We deceive ourselves so much. We say we want to be happy, but when we are given the chance to be happy, we don't quite know how to do it. We don't quite know how to do it. And we're not that interested either. So when you do mudita, you're going to see, how your interests, will waver, and you're going to see. You think about one really hard exam that you work hard, but you work hard for. You put in so much effort, and you did it. Just think about that. How much joy you can have. Maybe 1 year, one whole year of effort, maybe more, maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. But when you think about it, can you sustain that? Maybe about 10 minutes, just thinking about it, being very happy about that. Just 10 minutes. You're going to find it very challenging. But the Buddha says, this is not an impossible task. It's all very possible. Having said that, it's our choice. We have to choose it. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. If happiness hasn't been our choice, we have nothing to complain if we are not happy. So first think about all the good things in your life and rejoice in them. The second one, think about the good things in the people, what they have, what they do, what they are about, in the people very close to you. Then extend it outward to the people not that close, but who know you. Maybe some friends, some extended family. Just think about that. Maybe this morning we'll stop this much. I don't want you to have happiness fatigue. Joe, there can be happiness fatigue.